Hello everyone. Welcome back to Story Time with Mimansa. I hope you all are doing great. So let's see, what is today's story? The title of today's story is The Cow and the Lame Bull. So today is a continuation again. As you all know, just to recap, that Yudhishthira and all the Pandava brothers had left for forest. They were gonna go and do penance and then shed their human body. So now Parikshit is the new ruler of the kingdom. When Parikshit was born, his horoscope was casted and it was predicted that he is going to have a very, very glorious future. It was said that he would be like Ikshwaku, the son of Manu. He would be very, very courageous. He would be very good in archery like Arjuna. He would be very patient like Mother Earth. He would selflessly give like Shibi. He would be very, very kind, very devoted to Lord Narayana like that of Prahlad. So there was a lot predicted about him, and it was said that his fame and glory would be spread all across the country. And when actually Parikshit started ruling the kingdom, he actually proved it right. He was such. He was a very glorious king. He had married Airavati, the daughter of Uttara Kumara, and Janmajaya was his eldest son. On the banks of river Ganga, he had performed Aswamedha Yagya, which is the highest yagya, as you all know now. But his heart was aching constantly because he saw that Adharma had started ruling on this earth, and the influence of Kali was increasing day by day. Kali comes from the term Kali Yuga, which we frequently hear in today's era. He wanted to fight with Kali, destroy him, and restore to earth her past glory and beauty when his grandfather Yudhishthira ruled the earth. Once on the banks of river Saraswati, a bull was talking to a cow. So bull here is Lord Dharma, Lord of righteousness, and cow here is Mother Earth. So keep that in mind, it is symbolic. So let's hear what their conversation was. Cow was looking very, very sad. It seemed as if she was mourning loss of someone very close to her, which is Mother Earth. So Bull, Lord Dharma, limping on his one leg, yes, one leg, all his three legs are broken, goes to Cow and asks her, "Why are you weeping, my dear? Why are you so sad? What has happened to you?" And then he says, "Are you weeping because three of my legs are broken? Or are you weeping because you are worried that the low-born Shudras instead of Kshatriyas will rule you in the days to come? Or are you weeping because you are sorry for the Devas, the lords, who will be denied their share of the harvest and the yagyas, since yagyas will not be performed anymore? Or Mother Earth, are you sad because Indra will not wet you with rain hereafter? Are you sad about the decay of Dharma? What is making you so sad?" asked Lord Dharma to Mother Earth. Then he continues, "Are you dreading because children will not respect their parents anymore and not care for them? Are you sad because men will no longer protect women? Or are you sad because Goddess Saraswati will have to live in the homes of sinful Brahmins? Or wait, are you sad because you are thinking that Brahmins will be doing menial services to their inferiors? Or are you just mourning the fate of mankind, which will be so immersed in sin, the gratification of the senses, that it will never think of the Lord? Then Lord Dharma says to Mother Earth, wait, I know why you are so sad. You are so sad because Lord Krishna has left now. And when he left, he took away Dharma with him. Now there is adharma on this earth. People have started practicing adharma. There is no righteousness any longer prevailing on this earth. When Lord Krishna came on the earth, he reduced all your burdens and you became very happy. But now that he is not here, you are very, very unhappy. I know it. I know this must be the reason for your sadness, Mother Earth, said Lord Dharma. Mother Earth raised her tear-filled eyes and said, Lord Dharma, you know only too well what lies behind this pain of mine. Your questions only serve to make my wounds bleed anew. The Lord has left me and I am pining for him. The moment he went away, righteousness left me, and with it all the noble qualities for which I have been the home all these years. I am mourning for you and all that you once stood for. The Lord, who was the home of all that is beautiful, good, and pure, has left me, and I am dreading the progress and influence of Kali. In the form of Krishna, the Lord had placed his dear feet on me and walked on me. I was so beautiful then because he had sanctified me. I had become proud, perhaps, of my good fortune. To punish me, he has left me, and I do not know what I should do. The memory of those glorious days make me weep the more because I weep in vain. So this was Mother Earth who described the cause of her pain to Lord Dharma. She was weeping the departure of the Lord in Dharma. As they were thus engaged, out of nowhere, a low-born man who was dressed in the garments of a Kshatriya approached the couple. He began to harass them. With a stick, he was trying to break the one remaining leg of a bull. King Parikshit, who was coming near the place in a chariot, saw this terrible sin and hurried to the spot. He had his bow in his hand, and his other hand was already in the quiver, picking out an arrow. The sight of the cow brought tears to his eyes. So kind is Lord Parikshit. In a terrible voice, he addressed the assailant. How can you behave like this? How is it possible for such injustice to take place in my kingdom? In the land which was once ruled by the great Yudhishthira, how could you pluck up the courage enough to commit this atrocity when I am the king? How? He comforted the cow and the bull and said, Whoever you may be, you are rid of this sinner who has been harassing you. I am going to kill him. Be rid of your fears. Poor bull, tell me, who cut off your other legs? Dharma looked at him and said, It is but fitting that a scion of the great Kuru house should speak thus. You are the descendant of those great men for whom the Lord himself took up the role of a messenger of peace, the role of a charioteer. As for our condition, we do not really know who is responsible. When I look around me, I become faint with many forms of dharma which people talk about. There are atheists who say man himself is the master of life. The gods have neither the power nor the right to influence the lives of men on the earth. Then there are other people who say that the 9 grahas, the planets, rule the fate of the men. And then there are some other people who say that karma is everything. Your action has to be good. And then there are other people who say that all the things that you go through in your life is the result of your nature, your swabhav. So I don't really know what is true, but I do know that there are still a few people who say that there is a higher power, a higher energy above this mankind, the God Himself, who is ruling everything. But Lord Dharma said, I still don't know what is actually happening and what is the truth. King Parikshit considered his words for a moment and spoke with a smile. He said, the Shastras say that the Naraka, which means hell, which is waiting for the perpetrator of adharma, is meant also for him who mentions the name of the wrongdoer. You speak words befitting a person who knows the nuances of dharma. The more I think on it, more I am convinced that you are Lord Dharma Himself. Only you can trace so vividly the dearth of purity on the earth. It has been said that penance, which is tapas, cleanliness, which is shauch, compassion, which is daya, and truth, which is satya, are the four legs of dharma. Pride is responsible for the destruction of tapas. Samya, indulgence, and arrogance for that of the other two. In the Kali Yuga, men can be said to practice dharma only by observance of truth, and that is the one leg on which you are standing. The Kali is trying to kill truth and replace it with his weapon, untruth. I know why Mother Earth is weeping. She is comparing the golden age when Lord walked on her with the days to come when sinners will rule over her. But be without fear. I am going to kill Kali. The king dropped his bow and taking up a sword in his hand, he rushed towards Kali. So this was today's story. So in this story, we see the rising of Kali and what it actually means to be in Kali Yuga. We all have been living in Kali Yuga and we don't really have memory of Satyuga. We might have experienced it. But it is not impossible to experience Satyuga in Kali Yuga. So to reiterate and to go over the lesson from today, there are 4 pillars of dharma, righteousness. First is penance, which is doing tapasya. Second is cleanliness. Third is compassion. And fourth is truth. So if you want to check for yourself about what traits you possess and what kind of life you are living, the one of a Kali Yuga or the one of Satyuga, check for yourself. Do you always speak truth? Do you always support truth? Do you live truthfully? Do you have compassion? Compassion for not just for your fellow human beings, but also for animals, even a little insect. For each and everything on this earth, you should have compassion, even for yourself. The third thing is cleanliness. I don't think I need to explain about it. You all very well understand it. And the fourth thing is penance, doing tapasya. What does tapasya mean? Does tapasya mean only fasting and not eating? Not really. No, that's just one form of tapasya. Tapasya is basically when you do not engage in wrongful things, when you have the courage to stand for right things. If I want to tell you one simple thing, children, for you, in a way you can understand, is in today's generation, maybe the simplest tapasya you can do is stay away from electronic devices, controlling. Wherever you need to control your senses and self-indulgence is tapasya. So wherever you think that this is not right, your subconscious is trying to tell you that. To listen to it and follow it. Don't negate it. When you are too much involved with electronic devices and social media, you truly forget to live your life the way it should be. Life is very beautiful, but don't confine it to just social media and electronic devices. That's not true world. That's not true life. So that would be your tapasya, but it shouldn't be your tapasya. You shouldn't be living like that. So wherever you have to control self-indulgence and sensual pleasures is your tapasya. So these are the 4 things. Again, penance, which is tapasya, cleanliness, compassion, and truth. Remember these 4 things. If you live your life according to these 4 principles, you are living the life of a Satyugi person. If you have any questions or comments or like to discuss more on this, you can comment in the comment box below. And I'll see you next time with a new story. Until then, you take care of yourselves and your loved ones.